Hey everyone, how is everyone doing, huh? Are you Jack Nicholson The Shining yet? Huh? Oh my god. Um, First of all, I presume you all are safe out there, because that's very important. You don't get the fucking coronavirus because it's just a fucking disaster. I don't even fucking want to go to like CNN or one of those websites to see what's new. Although it's very hard to like fucking resist, you know, not looking up news and what the fuck is going on and blah blah blah, right? It's just very hard not to do that. But in any case, so I'm doing my podcast on this Saturday, April. What is it? April 11th, just before the Easter Sunday. Isn't that what Trump was saying that, we're going to have everything contained by Easter Sunday, right? And yeah, it's a fucking disaster. It's just a fucking disaster. That's all I can say. I mean, nobody expected this fucking virus to just cripple the whole fucking planet. So except for maybe like fucking, uh, some maybe countries and places which are open, everything is basically just fucking shut down. People are working from home, obviously, right? And then the no social fucking interaction, like when I say there's no social interaction means like in person. I think I said that in my last podcast. And this is going to actually have an effect on our fucking minds, which is already having an effect on our minds. So, without repeating myself, basically what I'm trying to say is that this fucking virus has just, shut down the whole fucking planet Earth with how many people we are on this fucking planet, huh? 8 billion, whatever the fuck it is, right? But it's not only that, but the way we are reacting to it and the way we are going to react to it after this fucking thing is over, right? I don't know how people are going to react after like fucking coronavirus bullshit is over, right? And I mean, I don't even want to know how many people died in New York or fucking New York State or like, US or Italy or this is so not fucking normal. This is so not fucking normal. So what does that mean, sir? Well, what this means is that I think there are two things have to happen, right? On the government scale. Obviously, all these incentives and all that, obviously we all need that, especially us. Small businesses have been impacted so negatively because I can't pay the fucking rent for March and April in my Manhattan office, and I haven't paid the April rent in my for my Jersey City office. I paid half of the rent here for my apartment, and they were asking me, okay, if you can please pay half of the rent, on the 15th, by the 15th, actually, not on the 15th of April, and then just send us a hardship letter where, you have been affected because of coronavirus. Obviously, I have been affected by the coronavirus. I mean, isn't that fucking obvious? But in any case, so I sent them the letter, on my company's letterhead, and I told them I already paid, half of the rent here for my apartment. And so I was talking to actually my ex-colleague. He called me, and then we were talking about this whole fucking thing, and how his kid actually, he goes to school up in Buffalo, and all these fucking colleges college campuses are closed down. Everything is fucking online. So obviously he has to be at his apartment or whatever he's living, and then just do the online courses. But one thing positive, and we were talking about this, is that I think after this fucking thing is over, hopefully soon, sooner than later, that I think the businesses, businesses are going to scramble for people, for workers. I'm telling you right now, because economy, I understand, there are fucking 10 million people who are out of work right now because of this fucking thing. Restaurants are suffering. And, everybody's suffering, right? But what's going to happen after this, that hopefully, we, come to normal terms with this fucking coronavirus. What am I saying? We don't need to come to any fucking terms with this fucking virus. What I'm trying to say is that if we come to a normal life, which I'm not sure what it's going to look like, are people going to shake hands? Huh? They're going to keep a 6 feet distance from each other? I have no fucking idea. But I think what's going to happen is that because life has to move, life has to go on, right? So life has to go on, which means that the economy will kickstart again, right? And then people will be scrambling, employers will be scrambling for workers. And hopefully, I think this is, if not roaring fucking 20s, and I get it that fucking people in New York, all these fucking liberal hippies, they're gonna have a lot of parties and all that fucking bullshit in Bushwick, right? Besides all that, right? Forget the roaring 20s. I think what's going to happen is that the businesses are going to be reviving. They're going to be reviving, and then they're going to be looking for workers. So it may take some time, but I think that's what's going to happen. That's my hunch. Hunch, is that what it is? Hunch. So let's hope for the best, and let's not hope for the fucking worst. Okay. So and then I was talking to another colleague in the industry. He called me as well after I spoke with my ex-colleague. And so we were talking about, how, what's going to happen, and just talking in general and all that, right? And what's going to happen and all that, right? But I think now 2 things are going to happen. The money that we spend on the military and all these fucking weapons and all that, right? They're going to be focusing on how to deal with fucking viruses, natural fucking disasters, right? I think they're going to be focusing on that. Many of the industry in the medical field, they're going to be focusing on that, obviously. They're going to be boosting that, whatever, production of the masks, or how to come up with fucking vaccines, right? So that, and then the other thing which I'm hoping that agencies like NASA and all these big shots in the fucking space industry, right? Elon Musk, SpaceX, Jeff Bezos, and Bronson, right? I'm hoping that they're going to say, fuck this. Now we really need a base on the fucking moon. Did I not say that last time? Or am I talking through my cheat sheet? But regardless, I may not have topics in my cheat sheet this time. I'm sorry, I apologize. But because, obviously I've been fucking depressed. And obviously, when things are not normal, and in this really absolutely fucking crazy time, and I'm just hoping that they would say, fuck this, you know what, we really need a base on the fucking moon and on Mars. You know why? Because if something like this happens again and we are not fucking ready, I don't know how you can be fucking ready for a virus. If this fucking happens again, then that's it. That's the end of fucking civilization, right? On this fucking planet. Not that the planet cares about our civilization, because the planet does not fucking give a shit, But we as species, we have evolved from the fucking monkeys. And now we have to find another fucking planet. And our best bet would be our moon, our own moon, because that's closer and we can get there, right? And Mars. So I think I'm assuming that these things would happen, or at least some initiative would be taken for these things to happen, right? Because a complete lockdown of a whole fucking planet, almost, right? Except for some countries, again, without repeating myself, a complete fucking lockdown of an entire fucking planet, right? It's not normal. It's not usual. It's not usual. But if it just happened within a couple of months, within a couple of fucking months, right? So this actually should give a lesson to us human beings that, oh, by the way, something like this can happen again. And then, so guess what? Fuck. Then we're fucked. And so let's just have a base on the moon, at least, I'm not talking about fucking, what's that movie with Matt Damon? Jesus fucking Christ. That Christopher Nolan actually, he actually directed that or produced it, right? Remember that fucking movie, District 9, with Charlton Copley, and then, oh my fucking god, Elysium. I'm not talking about Elysium, where we're gonna transport only rich people or people with privileges. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having a base and then starting a civilization there, right? On the moon and on Mars. Start with the fucking basic shit, you fucking human beings. Start with the basic stuff, basic fucking stuff. Just at least land a fucking cargo ship. I mean, we have had people on the fucking moon, right? Shouldn't it be easier for us to fucking have a colony on the moon? I understand, there's less gravity there and blah blah blah, but it's better than being in a fucking space junk, aka our International Space Station. So So this is the time. This is the time. This is the fucking time. So we can actually, really rethink our existence on this fucking planet and in this universe. First of all, I don't fucking understand why we are alone. I understand, astrophysicists and scientists, they have their own explanation, but I think there's some other force that's keeping us like fucking away from like other like beings contacting us for the worse or for the better. I think that's my theory on that. What force is that, sir? I have no idea, but I have a feeling there's some fucking force field that's keeping us, right? Until we become like fucking mature. Is that what it is? I have no fucking idea. I don't think that's the case. But I just don't buy into any of those fucking reasons in Fermi paradox. If you guys have read Fermi paradox, articles, they say, oh, maybe the aliens are not interested in us anymore. Like not yet. Because we have been like, we have weapons of mass destruction and all that. I don't think that theory. Or maybe we are alone. I don't think we are alone. That's fucking impossible. There's something else fucking going on, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any fucking power to go into fucking other dimensions and find out. And so without like sounding like a fucking, I don't want to sound like somebody who believes in like, oh, there's another dimension, Yeah, well, there are dimensions proven by scientific theory, but but I don't believe that aliens actually have evolved so much that they have found other dimensions and they don't even fucking bother with like, living a physical life, I don't fucking believe in that. I don't fucking believe in that. Okay, so 17 minutes, 41 seconds, everyone. I think I went from like fucking ranting on coronavirus to, other fucking dimensions. But we got a lot of fucking, we got a lot of fucking things going on, and then this fucking thing happens, and then all of a sudden, the whole fucking planet is shut down, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I mean, on an unprecedented level. And then a friend of ours from mountains, he's a young guy, a bright kid. And, his dad got coronavirus and, unfortunately, he passed away. And it just, I didn't mean to like pass this personal information, but may his soul rest in eternal peace. Amen to that. Amen to that. Whatever you believe in. But this is just an unprecedented, like a fucking time. I don't want to sound like so fucking negative. But I'm just hoping that we can just get the fuck out of this sooner than later, right? So, how about what you guys have been doing, during this fucking like lockdown, shutdown, right? Besides that, if you are fucking like, jobless and, you don't have any money. And if you are still surviving and if you are if you still have a roof on your head, your basic, you can cook some eggs, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to cook some eggs, I think. And after my podcast, egg whites and, with some bread and all that, right? I actually did some cooking yesterday, and then I had leftovers when I woke up today, and I had a little bit leftovers, after like around like 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I think I'm gonna get hungry, so I'm gonna make some eggs, egg whites, saute. So so my question was, after all this like big talks that I just talked about, right? What you guys have been watching, okay, so Westworld. Oh, Westworld season 3 episode fucking 4, which I watched last night, right? And I think tomorrow night is April 12th is the 5th, right? Is the 5th episode of season 3. That's a fucking great show, and with Aaron Paul is there, and Ozark. So Ozark is what I was watching. I've been watching. Ozark is a fucking great show, although it's based on. Okay, no spoiler alerts, sir. No fucking spoiler alerts. But Ozark is a great show, and movies. Who was talking about the movies? Oh yeah, I was listening to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, I think, podcast on YouTube, and they were talking about. So what's going to happen to the fucking the film industry? Well, I mean, film industry, they can still do the movies and all that. I mean, but I think everything is going to be like online now. So like people are people still going to go to the fucking theaters after this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So so if people don't go to fucking like movie theaters, right? So how are these movies are going to be like, like blockbusters? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand, how are these fucking movies going to be blockbusters if if um if people don't go out to the movie theaters, because that's where that's where most of the money comes from, right? From movie theaters. Um, I guess you could make a lot of money through Netflix as well, but it's not much. It's not as much as like going to theaters, especially like big blockbusters. So I don't know. I'm not an actor, or I'm not. I'm not into like fucking. I mean, everybody watches movies and all that, right? But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that let's say that the new fucking Star Trek, right? Picard. No, I'm not talking about Picard, but you can watch that show on fucking Amazon, right? From home. But I think now people's perception is going to change, that actually you can watch everything from home. You have, all you need is just like a nice big TV or screen, whatever, right? And you don't have to go to the fucking movie theater. So I think this coronavirus is also like is going to fucking drive all these fucking movie theaters out of business, right? I think so. So um, besides it has been driving like many of the businesses out of fucking business. Is that what I wanted to say? Many of the businesses out of fucking business. Yes. You know. So, I mean, I don't like to go to theaters, you know, because I like to watch movies at home, you know, and shows and all that, right? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense to like go to a theater. I understand, you know, you get the 3D or whatever the fuck it is, big screen and all that, right? But no, I like my home theater, whatever I have, right? And so there you go. Given that fucking coronavirus, so it's I think probably that's going to change the whole fucking like film industry. So all the formats and whatever, you know, the films are going to come out. I don't know which films have been announced that will come out. You know, in the next few months. You know, the blockbusters, anticipated blockbusters, right? So if they're not going to be actually premiered in the theaters, so what the fuck is going to happen, right? I think the directors and the producers probably are scrambling to actually have a format where they can show them on like fucking, you know, like Amazon, Netflix, and whatever the fuck it is, right? I think that's what's going to happen. So, without going on and on about the film industry, because that's not my fucking problem. What else is going to happen? I'm just trying to like understand what else is going to happen. I mean, besides the fact that probably people are going to not do any handshaking. So, besides Japan and some of the other Asian countries where people actually do wear like fucking face masks, so are we all going to like wear a face mask? Huh? I'm not going to wear a fucking face mask. Fuck that. Unless it becomes a fucking crime, you know? Like, okay, so if I'm walking on fucking whatever that street is, right? Dudley, whatever the fuck it is, or Grand Street, you know, towards the Colgate, you know, Morris Canal and whatever the fuck it is, right? And then if I'm not wearing a mask and cops show up, right? Or arrest him, right? Because he's not wearing a fucking mask. Unless it gets to that fucking level, I'm not going to be wearing a fucking mask because I don't have corona. And I'm just going to keep my distance from other fucking human beings. So, there you go. I don't think that's going to happen. I think people are going to be taking less public transportation because of the crowds and all that, right? And you think they're going to like fucking buy cars and they're going to be just like fucking driving to the city. Well, I'm not going to fucking take the subway or the fucking PATH train for some time at least, if not forever, because we're expensive to like drive into the fucking, you know, like my office, right? $15 fucking toll at the you know, Holland Tunnel, and then you know you have to pay for the fucking parking and all that, right? But I think I think I'm gonna get a monthly parking in Manhattan, and then I'm gonna walk to my office here in Jersey City. So that's it. If I'm driving, probably I should get another monthly here because there's no parking on the fucking street here, you know, in Jersey City either. So there you go, everyone. It's already 29 minutes, 49 seconds. So, I talked about shows and all that, and my girlfriend will be over tomorrow, so I won't be feeling, hopefully, like a fucking lunatic, by himself, in the apartment all fucking day, all fucking night, in this fucking lockdown. So the human in-person interaction, that actually really like helps, and it actually like relieves the stress. So what else? I mean, what else is going on, huh? Well, life has to go on. Life has to go on, and I think on a positive side, I think this fucking thing will be over, and then we'll be out of it, and we all be fine. We all be fine. I think so. And also, by the way, so I bought this like skee ball can, from Groupon for like $26. You guys can see it here. Skee ball. You see that? My fucking skee ball game. Right? It's fun. It's some sort of a distraction, At least some distraction, You can play skee ball, And yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. Whatever the hell you have to do, you just have to wait and see. And you just try to be and act normal as possible, And that's all. And that's all. So, how is everyone doing, by the way? Everyone's good? I mean, New York City, I know it's a disaster. And New York State, I'm not sure about the other parts of New York State. How about the other fucking states, dude? Huh? How about the other fucking states? How about California, huh? Well, I guess because California is spread out. New Jersey, my hometown of fucking New Jersey. I know we have a lot of cases too, so it's just a fucking disaster. Jesus Christ. Well, let's talk about something else, right? So let's talk about something else. Something else to the effect of, let's say that we play some music. Now, I have my guitar over here. Maybe I'll play some music after I cook some like eggs, because I'm already feeling hungry and all that, right? And yeah, I mean, it's life. Life is just not. Life has not been like normal. So it's just crazy. So you all have to just be sane. Don't go like fucking Jack Nicholson Shining. And talk to your friends, talk to your loved ones, and talk to your, whoever you want to talk to, because talking is good, at least if you don't have like a fucking like in person, like, talk is good, it helps, relieve some stress, that there are people out there, who are looking out for you, and, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes, it's like I mean, I didn't go on a rant with my mom, on the family, but, what really pissed me off, that when my mom told me that there was a woman who actually was interested in me back in the 1990s, and then, so they were basically trying to like hook, like they were trying, not that they were trying, but in the early stage of like, me and her being together and all that, right? And I had no clue that this was fucking going on, not even my dad. So I got pissed at my mom, and I said, guess I know the girl, I know the woman, She's from a very good family, and she went to the same engineering school that I did. So I'm like, Mom, how come you never told me? Or how come you never even told Dad? So I got pissed at my mom, and then I'm like, whatever, it's like it's a thing of the past. So who gives a shit? But I just like realized that, okay, so I mean, if I had married that lady, but I guess at that time I was also like rebellious, rebellious in a sense that not rebellious, but I had different goals, I just wanted to get out of mountains. I wanted to go to a school in US, and that was my goal, So I guess because I didn't even bother, but I guess what really pissed me off was that Mom never told anybody, And so, I mean, I love my mom, obviously, because, she has done a lot of great things and blah, 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 right? But I just, this is something, because if you're talking to somebody, and I know the lady, I don't think she was talking to the lady, but obviously she was talking to her dad and blah, 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 right? All this. And but I never knew. I never knew that she I mean I knew the lady, and she was my junior in the engineering school, and you come from the same village. My extended family had a lot of like relationships with them, not relationships, but my grandmother was like very like she was like the godmother of some of their like like kids and all that, right? But in any case, I just got pissed that my mother, why didn't she tell me, or why didn't she like tell at least my dad, So whatever. But in any case, so that's I just I'm like, Mom, at least you should have told my dad, if you didn't want to tell me, But whatever, again, I had my own, aspirations at that time. And, this is life. That's how this life is, and that's how you learn, right? I mean, I get emotional about these things, sometimes because I don't have any kids or a wife. I'm 46, turning into 47, I biologically, obviously, biology talks to me or whatever the hell it is, right? So, it's obvious, and especially like during these times when you're fucking lonely and all that. I mean, I have a very sweet girlfriend, she's very nice, sweet, and, she cares about me as much as I care about her, So, it's already 38 minutes, everyone. I presume you all are okay out there, given this fucking bullshit that's happening. But you have to take a lot of deep breaths. Something like that. And so I'm doing my podcast on this Saturday night. I haven't gone out actually today. I haven't even gone out except to drop off the trash from my fucking apartment, right? In the trash room, recycle room, on the 7th floor, right? because I was kind of depressed today, after I had that conversation with my mom and all that. How come I didn't know that there was a lady who was interested in me? Not that, I'm acting like a desperate person, where, oh, she was the only one who's interested in you. I'm pretty sure there were many who were interested in me, but if there was a talk where they were talking about like, okay, so maybe they should talk, and then maybe, maybe we can like marry them. I don't think I wanted to do that. And I never had like, I know the lady, very well. I don't think I ever had like feelings for her that way, or maybe she did. I had no idea. Again, I had no fucking idea. But in any case, so 40 minutes. I don't want to go on and on. And again, this is not an easy time for us. And you know what the fuck these fucking liberals are doing? Like if you listen to like NPR, WNYC, they are fucking. You know what they're claiming that their their media is like non-partisan and all that. No, it's not. As much as fucking Fox News is like to the right, as much as these fucking liberals, especially in New York, are to the fucking left. That's the reality. They're not non-partisan media. They're not a non-partisan like, we talk to everybody, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. So, without ranting about like fucking, public radio, let's see if I have any topics in my cheat sheet, everyone. So we can talk about that, and then we can move on, right? Okay, so I only have 3 topics. American Express Brooklyn parking lot. Okay, so this is what the fuck happened, right? I think out of desperation, right? Out of fucking desperation, So I was looking at my online American Express, my business American Express card statements, right? The payment activity and all that, right? And I realized that some parking lot in Brooklyn just charged me $250. $250 fucking dollars for April. So I'm like, what? Wait a fucking minute. I'm not in Brooklyn, okay? And I haven't been to Brooklyn in like a long time. And, well, first of all, why are they charging me fucking $250, right? Because I remember I used to have a parking lot there where I was paying $250, right? And apparently they ran my American Express card to charge me $250. So I called American Express and I said, listen, I never authorized this. I'm not in Brooklyn and I don't have a monthly there. So why are they fucking charging me $250? So they said that they would basically contact the parking lot and then they would basically reimburse me. Because American Express, they knew that this was something that was like fraudulent, But I have a feeling that this fucking parking lot was just like fucking, like running all these, running all these cars that they had on file just in desperation because nobody wants to park there, right? So I'm like, fuck that. And, So yeah, I called American Express, and then basically they're like, yeah, we're gonna reimburse you, and then we're gonna find out what happened, right? Okay, my next topic, Ozark. Ozark, I talked about, as you all know, Ozark is a great show if you are into that kind of shows, And my next and last topic, unfortunately, I had to end my podcast earlier today. I'm sorry, I apologize. Given the circumstances, right? NASA launch. So NASA launch. Okay, so NASA launched something. I know that for sure. Oh yeah, so NASA launched astronauts to the International Space Station in the midst of coronavirus. So yeah, NASA had a launch. I'm not sure which rocket. Oh, I know which rocket from. Russian rocket from. What is that place called? Kazakhstan, right? So they launched astronauts from the Russian, using the Russian the rockets to launch into the space, and then basically, obviously, they docked, and so they went up there. So that was interesting. I'm not sure what the fuck they were doing, but again, my issue has always been with NASA and all these big space companies is when are we going to have a fucking base on the moon, and a base on the fucking Mars. So unless that happens, then this fucking thing happens where the whole fucking planet Earth, which is a rock in the space revolving around another rock, hot rock, right? And that's our home, right? Unless we find another home, and if this fucking thing happens again, in some other strand, and that's it. That's the end of the fucking civilization. So hopefully not. So I think I'm going to end my podcast with that, everyone. I presume you all, again, are, safe out there with your, loved ones, families, and friends. And so look out for my podcast on YouTube, obviously, Cooking So Simple, one word, and then on SoundCloud, search for Weekend Podcast with Naeem. Weekend Podcast with Naeem. It's not one word, separate words. And you can find me there. All right, so with that said, I'll see you all next weekend.